Hi, so you're thinking of moving to Baton Rouge, or you're here because you're trying to ride out your first hurricane in Baton Rouge. Well, welcome to my channel. In this video, I will explain hurricane preparedness, the anxiety that comes with it, riding out the storm itself, snacks, we're going to talk about snacks, and evacuation and cleanup. My name is Evelyn Greenwood. I'm with Fathom Realty. I've been an agent in Baton Rouge for over 10 years, and I have lived in Baton Rouge for over 26 years. If this is your first time to my channel and you want more videos on Baton Rouge living, just click subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications so that you'll be the first one to get the videos when we talk about Baton Rouge real estate. Today I am waiting for Hurricane Francine to come through Baton Rouge. So I decided to do this video for those of you who've never been through a hurricane. I have had several clients in the past. It's their first time, and I've had to talk to them about the process and everything. So the first thing, when you start hearing about a hurricane, you know, it'll be at work, it'll be on the news that there's a hurricane in the Gulf. So the first thing you need to do is just stay informed, watch the progress, and see where the hurricane is going to go. I know that goes without saying, but this is just a hurricane video, so I figured I would add that to this. The hurricane season in our area is June 1st through November 30th. The peak season is the end of August through September, and here we're in the middle of September right now. And most of the big hurricanes we have had have been at the end of August, beginning of September. So even though it's a 6-month period, those are the main times of the major hurricanes due to the heat in the Gulf. So then there's also categories of hurricanes, 1 through 5, 1 being the weaker and 5 being the strongest. Supposedly Hurricane Francine is a category 1 coming through. By the time the hurricane reaches here, it might even be downgraded to a tropical storm. They still have lots of wind and power to them that would still cause some of the same damage as a hurricane. Anyway, so sometimes you don't know what the hurricane is until after it passes. You find out 2 days later what the level was when it actually passed over your home. The nature of storms, they change. Even last night, we didn't know where it was going. This morning, now that it's closer to land and to the coast, we know pretty much about where it's going to go, but then we still don't even know where it's going to go once it hits land. So the nature of storms is changing. They speed up, they slow down. Yesterday, it was supposed to come through at 11 this morning. Now it's supposed to be 7 o'clock tonight. So it is still changing, and it's quite the waiting game once you start waiting on a hurricane to come through. So for preparedness, I suggest you start in June. Every year we kind of go through this. My family, we've been here for I've been in Louisiana most of my life, minus like 4 years. And so I've been used to hurricanes, but you really do, preparedness is a big thing. So we usually, look at your batteries, look at your light sources. I have an impressive set of lanterns that I have for hurricane season. And sometimes in the winter we lose power for ice storms or something like that. So anyway, we get the lights, we make sure we have plenty of canned food in case we have to be here after the power goes out. A lot of people go fill up their cars, so it's kind of a little bit of a frenzy right when a hurricane is, talking about coming, when a hurricane is coming to our area. You fill up your car with gas, and the reason being, if you need to leave, say afterwards, you're going to be without power for 5 days and you may go to a relative's or somewhere else, you want your cars full of gas because it might be low on gas in the area, or the power might be out at the gas stations. You don't know what kind of damage there is going to be in town, so you want your gas filled up. We also fill up gas cans because we have a generator, so we want the gas for a couple of days of having to be on the generator. A lot of people talk about their snacks. That's one of the main things people get worried about for a hurricane, because it can be a long 24-hour kind of boring wait for the hurricane. And even after the hurricane, you're waiting for the power to come back on, waiting for it to blow through, quit raining so that you could go do cleanup and move on with your life. So everybody talks about their snacks. So everybody runs to the grocery store. They get essentials, they get bread, they get, peanut butter, non-perishables, and a lot of people get alcohol. There are hurricane parties. I do suggest that you just stay local with your hurricane party. A lot of times it is with your neighbors so that no one's driving. It's not a good idea to be driving around and for hurricane parties. And that might even be for the younger crowd. I don't personally do hurricane parties anymore. But I have had family, when I have families evacuate to my house, we do have a little bit of a party beforehand. Not really a party. Everybody's anxiety is high, and we're collecting food, and they brought food and things like that. So it can be kind of a little event right before the storm. So that's it on the snacks and the food. You will become a storm watcher. So you will be figuring out which sites you like the best, the Weather Channel, Weather Underground, and the local news. I look at the local news because they're going to what my area is. Now there are several different models. So you might get the European model, you might get the other model. Anyway, so it gets kind of involved with your storm watching. There can be a lot of stress and anxiety leading up to a storm, which is totally normal. Because you don't, it's a storm coming, so you don't know what's going to happen with it. But the preparedness helps you to feel a little bit calmer in that you're going to have food, you're going to have water, you have a way to make your coffee in the morning if you're worried about that. You have, you have gas in your car. So that alleviates some of the anxiety and stress, is being prepared. And if you also plan on evacuating, if you have a plan of what hotel you're going to go to, what town you're going to go to, what you're going to do with your pets, if it's a good idea, if you do have pets, or even for yourself, to get a little medicine ready, get your food ready, to be able to leave at a moment's notice. That's part of your hurricane preparedness. Pack up your dog's food, just a couple of days worth if you're going to be traveling, and just keep it like that from the time in June through hurricane season. And make sure you do take your pets with you, because you never know if something's going to happen to your neighbors. Even if you talk to them about watching them, you don't know if something's going to happen with their situation. And so it's pretty, important that you tend to your pets and make sure you bring your medicine with you when you evacuate, at least for, a week or two. Just remember, if you do evacuate, just imagine that your power will be out. So, not that you have to clean out your refrigerator, but just know when you come back, if it's been several days with no power, your refrigerator will, be smelling and all that. So you may want to empty that out before you leave, or just know that it's going to be like that whenever you come home. Then some workplaces, most of the city will shut down. If you work in healthcare, or if you work at the plants, or any kind of operation that is necessary to run 24 hours, you will be required pretty much to go to work unless they tell you otherwise. And a lot of times, some of these places do offer childcare for those who have to work during the storm. And but you need to check into that. That's something you would need to check with your employer, because you may still be required to go to work if you have one of those kinds of jobs. As far as the storm goes, it usually starts off, there's just a lot of rain. There is a calm before the storm. It's kind of a very, very still atmosphere, and then the winds will pick up, and then when the storm's here. Not much lightning or anything. It's mainly just high winds and rain sideways, and so you just kind of we say hunker down, and if it's you listen for tornado warnings. Your phone will be telling you if you have tornadoes in the area. A lot of times you get in the interior of your home if it's that bad. The only time I've ever had to do that was during Gustav. I believe when Gustav came through Baton Rouge, that was one of our worst hurricanes. It was a level 2, and we did go sit in the bathroom for about an hour, and we didn't have any damage to our house. There were trees going down. For Gustav, we did lose about 50% of our trees in Baton Rouge, but they were, at the end of their life, they were water oaks. Those trees are usually the ones that go down. So during a storm, the most threats that you have are trees going down. So in part of your preparedness, you could check the trees earlier in the year and see if you have any trees that look like they might even be at the end of their life, or if they're dead, then you need to call an arborist or see about getting your trees removed, or a tree removed if you think it's in danger of falling on your house. Wind damage is another risk. If it's super high winds, could take parts of your roof off. I have not had that. I had a few shingles lost during Rita, but I had an older roof at the time, and I did lose about 5 shingles. I did not get any rain in my house, but we did end up getting a new roof after Hurricane Katrina. And flooding is another risk. So if it stays, some hurricanes will stay in one spot and just rain and rain and rain. You know, usually they're moving past, but sometimes, even like Gustav, it just stayed and stalled over our area. Felt like it rained for like 2 days. And so flash flooding is a risk. Road closures due to down lines, down trees, that's to be expected. So when you do go back out to work, you know, you need to plan ahead and check out your route and make sure there are no road closures. If you are going to evacuate, like I want to go back to that, say my parents, they live near Lake Charles, so they went through Laura and they don't want to do that again. And they have a hotel in Nacogdoches, Texas, and they just pack up and they go. Once they know it's going to be more than a level 2, they have a criteria for the hurricanes. If it's a level 2 coming anywhere near them, they just take their pets and they go to Nacogdoches. And that's just, that way they don't have to worry about where they're going to go. So I know several people that do that. They have a place that they're going to go to, and they call their hotel and make a plan. So that's pretty much, you know, kind of getting through the hurricane. After the hurricane, you know, usually you wait a little while and see if the, you know, when the winds go down, everybody starts coming out of their house. You go survey your yard, you check on your roof, you know, and check on everything. This is also a good time to know your neighbors. I mean, you don't have to wait till a hurricane to meet your neighbors, but it's a very good thing to know your neighbors. Actually, we all bonded after Hurricane Katrina. We had lots of, you know, I met my neighbors before, but after Gustav, we were without power for 7 days, so we took turns cooking everything in our freezers and got to know the neighbors. And if somebody needed something, you know, somebody in the group had it. They actually, my son always has a birthday during a hurricane. He's got a September birthday, and so they would help with birthday parties in the middle of a hurricane. And another thing to check on is your insurance rider. Insurance in a hurricane area will have a named storm rider, so you need to know what your deductible is. Some people don't know until after a hurricane, and they're in a bind financially because the hurricane rider is much higher. Like, say my regular homeowner's deductible is $2,500. My hurricane deductible is $7,500. But I know that, so I know that that's what I need if a hurricane damages my roof and I need a new roof. I'm going to have to come out with the $7,500. But you need to know that going in and talk with your insurance person about if there's any other better ways of lowering your deductible, or if you're prepared to pay that deductible. So that's pretty much it. I just recommend you stay informed, you stay safe, and you stay calm. I'll have some pictures of the hurricane if I can for Hurricane Francine. It keeps pushing back, and so I don't know if it'll be in the middle of the night and if I'll be able to get any good pictures or not. Anyway, I hope this video helps, and I hope you stay safe. Thank you.